guys should be excited as well. We got what's going to be ultimately the final week leading up into cycle number 1, Diamond Division especially, where we're going to have the best 8 teams every single cycle duking it out for thousands of dollars. It's crazy, man. There's so much to talk about, obviously, but we got plenty of time to talk about it as far as the season and it developing in itself. With that said, of course, I'm Breaky CPK. Yes, I am back, ready to cast some Heroes of New Earth and ready to go long for what's going to be an amazing, amazing season here with Han Tour Season 3. With that said, also going to be joined by my co-caster, the one and only Mini Maggot. Going to be here. Mini Maggot, how's it going, buddy? I still have you muted. 1 second. There's going to be issues. Okay, there we go. Now we should be able to hear you.
Yeah, I'm just so happy, man, to be here. Like, I mean, can't believe all the Han Tour Season 3 hype, man. Like, I've been casting the last couple of weeks with Beef, and it's been so good just to watch the whole tournament really just almost wrap up to the end. And now we're getting to the, the near-end stages, and there's so many good teams out there, man, and some really good games to be had as well. So I'm so hyped, man. I'm so happy to be here, and I'm looking forward to the games we've got today. Yeah,
you know, I was on vacation, obviously. Yeah, I mean, and now I made a post about all this, guys, so you can check the forum, check Reddit if you really are curious to know what the whole situation is. Anyways, I'm back. That's what matters. I was watching a lot of Honcasts, at least as much as I could throughout the week, with you and Beef, of course, casting, and it got me extra hyped, just not only with the announcement of the Ursa Core and how much money's already been made for cycle number 1, to just these teams going at it, to the new patch, of course. That's the big thing for me, especially. The new patch, as always, bringing a lot of fun, a lot of diversity, and we're already seeing that here. And one of the other greatest things is, speaking of this man right here, Quincy, doing his stat thing. I'm a huge fan of stats. I've always stressed that. So it's awesome to have this man with us and providing these stats. So, yeah, I can't wait, man. Now, with that said, I'm getting overexcited here. We gotta break down this match here real quickly. Of course, the matchup we got going on here is a losers bracket round of 8 matchup. Frog No Hippo versus Adrian's Familj, something like that. Anyway, family. Okay, that makes sense. Holy crap! We already got some crazy stuff happening. Anyways, with that said, here we are. Draft's already developing, and it seems like you're already excited about something here.
I love Polywog Priest. Like, when I'm obviously a support player, and what Polywog Priest is probably one of my favourite supports. I mean, we don't get to see it in Hon too much nowadays because his laning presence isn't the strongest, and in Hon it's all about laning presence, just so you don't fall behind too early. But yeah, Polywog Priest, man, such a good hero. I love this hero if you can get out of the laning phase. But yeah, going back to the draft though, as you can see, Tremble, Cthulhu, Swiftblade, and Rhapsody have been banned. I don't know how long you've been sort of away, and it's been a couple of weeks, but yeah, these have been normally the norm blind bans actually. And Parasite's made quite a big comeback, obviously, after the big balance patches. The Infest obviously had the biggest change, now actually gaining health at max level, as well as increased their attack speed and movement speed. And yeah, and Parasite's becoming really a top pick nowadays, and no wonder we see a top pick here coming out from the Frog or the Hippos or something like that. I can't remember this Legion name. It's too troll.
Yeah, Frog No Hippo is the appropriate name, but yeah, whatever they are. No, but yeah, again, though, with the patch, there's just I'm going to be relying on you, obviously, for a bit in terms of what we've been seeing already with a lot of these heroes, so that's some great insight right there. Again, Cthulhu Font's kind of been that one hero where, oh god, once he hits a competitive scene, he's going to dominate. So, as it sounded like, not surprised to see him banned here as far as one of those initial bans. But yeah, the pairs are the first pick, and a Polywog and a Chipper. Holy crap, is this an aggressive team going to be coming out here. Torture Bubbles, of course, coming out over here for the opposition. What? Speaking of another hero that kind of came out, though, what about Silhouette? Have we been seeing a little bit of Silhouette, would you say?
We have been playing a lot of Silhouette, actually. The cast me and Beef had, actually, we've been following a lot of Instant Reflex, and obviously I was the previous captain after I sort of left to come, the co-caster here. And this was the hero that wasn't actually available to me when I was to a captain, but we have probably one of the most infamous sort of Silhouette players, which is Marcus Amoy, and he's been absolutely dominating on that scene. And pretty much after that dominating performance, I think he went Bloodbath in one of the games, and against Instant Reflex it's been like a blind ban the whole time. And I think for other teams it's kind of a flavour hero as well. I mean, it is a very strong hero, but it's one of those heroes you need to know how to play if you want to be good with it. Kind of similar to a Tundra in that respect. Yeah. So we don't see always a blind ban depending on the hero. But yeah, definitely another hero that's very strong on the scene nowadays. Yeah, so Polywog Priest, so that is most certainly kind of the really interesting standout pick here. In fact, you look at the stat line there from Quincy, only 2 games. Now, I believe that's really only comes from the cards you got of a Pro League, but still a lot of matches in that data to see that he was only played 2 of those games. And yeah, I'm trying to think, again, a lot of changes happened. He didn't get changes this last patch, I don't think. So, no.
how are you feeling about this Polywog Priest pickup? I mean, the more and more now things are developing.
I mean, I'm not too sort of really confident in this pickup. I mean, we casted them this team actually a couple of days ago with Beef as well, and this was a team close to Beef's Talks. I think they're a few friends with them, and he said they do not play the sort of meta style of heroes. They don't play your drunken master, you know, the Rhapsodies, you know, the heroes we always see on the competitive scene. This is the team that will just pick heroes they're comfortable with and just try and play with it and do the best. So really interesting to see, you know, what kind of style of play they do and what kind of other heroes that they've got, because obviously they've got 2 more picks to see. And although, you know, Polywog Priest isn't the strongest of meta heroes, I think the hero can still work a very, very good hero into the mid game because of his pushing potential, but also because of his just crowd control potential with his morph and his tongue tied. And I think if given the sort of space and the farm, I think the hero can do very, very well as a secondary support.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Quincy kind of confirming right there. So yeah, the support role is also that is kind of an interesting transition too. Exactly, seems like maybe more is that support role where as you go back to again the no-tail days, that's really what stands out. Obviously the solo mid Polywog Priest, but that in itself we really don't see, of course, a whole lot more nowadays. With that said, I want to get something really clear right here before we get too much into it. Once again, I do apologize if there are any audio issues. Again, I had to reformat my computer actually and change all, and so I had to kind of go through the settings again and make sure that they were all good. This is the first stream that I've done since then, so it should be all good. I was making sure, but again, I do apologize. You know, let me know if any tweaks may be necessary, but I believe things should, for the most part, be good to go. Anyways, developing on here, we got the bands to talk about: Drunken Master, Puppet Master, Silhouette, Glacius, Slither, and Engineer. Demented Shaman. So yep. This is because it's seeming like maybe more of that push style, very aggressive, but Parasite doesn't really fit in a push lineup. I don't know. So it's kind of
it doesn't really
iffy.
And this is what I was saying to you before, that this team just plays heroes they want to play, plays heroes they're comfortable with, and just tries to make the best out of it. Yeah, it might not have the sort of set strategy in mind or the set direction they want to go with their team, but as long as they're comfortable with it and it's the heroes they want to play, I mean, I guess they'll try their best and as a result maybe play their best as well. But for the Hellborn side, it's something we normally more often see in the competitive scene because they're the more meta-style heroes, the more safe picks, for example. We've got the Master of Arms here for the pickup, or the 4th pickup, most likely going to be the secondary support. With Torture, Rally, and Bubbles, they're most likely going to finish that off with some kind of a late-game presence. I mean, Master of Arms can be played as carry, but I think it's sort of most successful in a support role, in my opinion. So I'd like to say maybe some kind of late-game presence, like a hard carry, like a Madman, perhaps, a Dark Lady, even. And for the Legion side, I honestly have no idea what they're going to pick because they pick what they want, to put it simply.
That's fair. Well, I mean, that kind of goes with what you're saying right there. They pick what they want, and so Bramble's going to be coming out here. You know, I was thinking something like a Balfagor to, you know, always the DS Balfagor combination so strong, especially with the Polywog in there, great push. Bramble, you know, not necessarily a Balfagor, but still has great potential to be a system push. And you know, it seems like we've always talked. In fact, I'm curious to see the stat line here when Quincy puts it up. Bramble seems like he's one of these rare heroes we see, but when we do see him, he does pretty well as far as individually as a hero. As Behemoth, the final pickup, excuse me, going to be coming out. And that's, you know, more counter push even on their side. But yeah, Bramble, what about him?
Yeah, I mean, I have to agree with you. We don't see this hero all too much, but I think when we do see it, I think he does quite well. I mean, the most recent example would have to be probably, I think The Last of Us picked up Bramble as the mid-initiator. I think I particularly remember him not picking up the portal key and just, you know, going around as like a big tanky mess, but couldn't really do all that much. But I think the hero is definitely a good hero, to say the least. Has a good sort of skill set, and I think a sort of skill set that surprises a lot of people. And I think that's just in general with a lot of pickups or a lot of heroes we don't see on the competitive scene. When you see a hero, or when you don't see a hero for a long time in the competitive scene, you always kind of forget what they can sort of accomplish, and they can sort of surprise you in terms of your skill set and the burst they put out. So I wouldn't be surprised here if the Hellborn aren't too familiar with the Bramble pickup, and as a result, might be sort of caught out in a few ways more than one. Yeah,
Bramble, that W ability, especially the Ensnaring Shrubbery, of course. Two things to think about, not only how powerful an ability it is on this hero, but of course Monty Python and the Shrubbery reference. But anyways, we got Bramble here. It looks like he's going to be heading towards the bottom lane initially. Now 4 of them all together are going to be going here. Of course, Parasite leading the way, actually, in the workings of a Blood Chalice early on. Not too surprising to see that, but 4 heroes also coming from the Hellborn side with that said. So a possible clash to be coming here, and I definitely like the Hellborn's level 1 a lot more than the Legion side. I mean, Behemoth alone really sets that off, but a good amount of stun across the board. So Really, if you're the Legion side here, you want to be a little careful as far as getting caught out. But it looks like possibly some tri-lane action, maybe?
It is a 5v4 though. I think Legion could even take this engagement though. I don't think they realise that Bubble is not here though, so they are just going to back off in the end. I would really like to see Hellborn block this Parasite hard cam. I mean, they can't really tri-lane down here unless they shut out the Parasite, and that would need to be done through warding. Behemoth does have one Rev Ward. I think that's going to be placed on the hard camp. I'd hope to see that. Otherwise, I think actually Legion could definitely contest this tri-lane.
You see he's heading over right here. Again, has it in his inventory. Maybe simply even going to try to get a counter ward? No, that would be
don't place it there. Please don't place it there. If you play, that's like that old hard camp. That would be really bad. He looks like he's going to block it over here, most likely.
Mega Beaver and Mini Beaver players we've seen a couple times here on Honcast as far as presence on the competitive scene. I mean, both teams, with that said, kind of have a couple of players maybe that bring a little bit of attention to them as far as maybe seeing before. But there you go. Yeah, they do block the camp right there with the bottom rune as well. So, and the aggressive trial lane outcoming right here. You see Behemoth was most run often in the trial lane, 7 games, went to 4-3. Overall, so very back and forth kind of, but it makes sense. I mean, Behemoth is one of those core tri-lane heroes. Him and Myrmidon really come to mind as far as like heroes that you're going to see in tri-lanes if they are picked up. So.
One thing to talk about this tri-lane though is that this Polywog Priest is going to get dove in the next 30 seconds, I can assure you, because he has the worst. He's one of those heroes like the Thunderbringer, like Bombardier, who has no escape mechanism. And once this lane gets pushed out, which is actually in favour of Legion's sort of lane control now, so actually he was cutting down these trees. He's looking to try to get a fish off already. Yeah. If he hits one fisher, this Polywog is without a doubt dead. I
mean, he doesn't even need to really block him off. It's just more so get that initial stun, set up a chain reaction, set up a charged, charged shot here from Master of Arms, and that should be an easy kill, as he said. I mean, even with the level 1 morph now, it lasts what, like very, very little time. It's 1.25 seconds, so yeah, really not much at all at this point in time, at least. Oh, yeah, they're going to find him right here. Here comes a fissure stun. No, not going to use it. Figured it wasn't worth it, as they probably weren't going to get the kill. So, I mean, the fact that Happy Fish is still alive is pretty good news in the end for the Legion side.
I have to admit, I thought he would be dropping already, and actually, I'm kind of surprised by this call coming out from the Adrian family. The Behemoth and Master Arms are already roaming, and I think they could easily get some kills onto Polywog, but I guess they just don't feel comfortable in trying to gank this Polywog. They are going to count the room, and they might even gank mid or even bottom with this. But actually, middle lane, Parasite coming in with a gank, but cannot get anything down onto Rally.
Yeah, they're attempting to at least harass him a little bit, but side cash, putting the Rally right here just fine. Kind of interesting right there with the Torturer, how especially when it comes to the carry role, he definitely drops down a little bit as far as his overall impact on the win percentage compared to the support. I mean, it kind of makes sense to me, though. He really is just such a go-to star support hero, so it's not too surprising to see that even higher. But when it comes to the carry, which he's kind of doing here, not as much. We'll see the impact area. But yeah, middle lane, though, Invis Behemoth, he's sitting here. I mean, again, being very patient, just like it was at the bottom lane. Didn't result in a kill. Oh, he just says, screw it, I'm going for the courier. Now, the Rally misses. There's the fissure with the Rally miss, though. Chipper will stay alive. In fact, go for the counter kill. No, not going to happen. Behemoth kind of running in right there, but he's not going to be able to do enough. So a little bit of iffy back and forth, but hey, at least Chipper stays alive.
He picks up the bottle, though.
Oh, that was a bottle drop from... Oh, okay. Now that's huge then. God. I thought that was Rally's bottle, like, gave it to him or something. Yeah, bottom lane, going to be fine. But, that makes even more sense, though. Oh, jeez. That is big.
Wow. Damn. I mean, I feel so sorry. I've been in that position as well, where you play a team, you rage at your teammates, oh, why don't you upgrade Courier? Why don't you upgrade Courier? And they take your bottle, and it's the worst thing. At bottom lane, she probably going in.
Yeah, you see right here, finally, Bloodlust kill is going to be coming out. So early, it was just a matter of time, right? I mean, even with Behemoth not there, that came at the last second. I mean, he wasn't even needed in the end, but Torture, Master of Arms alone, and he's just such a squishy hero. So, I mean, you see where he died. I don't know, you almost, I think you got to question that. It's like, if you're a short lane Polywog Priest in this case, even in a 1v2, you're going to die if you push up any bit like that.
I mean, one thing that could definitely save him, he's picked up a ward. This is perfect play. Oh, if he places it right, that's so great play, honestly. I was just about to say he would be perfectly fine if he could get a ward just to the side of him, because he could even play this aggressive if he has that ward there, but without the ward, he couldn't really play that far up. So he does get the ward given to him, but I think it was the Demented Shaman, I think. So that's great play, honestly. Instantly recognizing the mistake and rectifying instantly. Middle lane, though, Chipper might be in trouble.
Yeah, you see the chase is coming. Ooh, the Fork Lightning kind of really missing right there. The Rally's also missing. Big misses on both players right there. from Master of Arms to Rally. And
Sidestep, man.
yeah,
Sidesteps.
I mean, sure, we'll give him some credit right there, but I think also a bit of whiffing on the side of the Hellborn side. But yeah, sidesteps from Mid Please BR. That's a clever name right there. Playing the chipper. So yeah, staying alive now. This is not over just yet, though. Behemoth is like, I want my go. There we go. His stun's easy to land. But they're going to get him close enough. There we go. Rally with the follow-up. There's the four gliding in the face, and this should be a kill. But at what cost right here, Rally? He's taking some good tower damage. No, he's going to be fine as Behemoth then absorbs it. Meanwhile, at the bottom lane, Torture picks up a solo kill onto a Polywog Priest. Already a 3-0 start now in favor of the Hellborn side here.
Yeah, and this is one problem with Chipper is just his laning phase. He's so easy to gank, and that's why if we do see a Chipper, we normally see it in the short lane because it's a lot harder really to gank in the short lane than it is in the middle lane. If you recall, BMG used to pick up BMG used to pick up Chipper, sorry, quite often, and they still do. And they normally run him in the short lane because he's just a lot harder to gank if he's in that short lane. Obviously, in the middle lane, a lot easier to gank. But looking on the positives here, I mean, Bramble does have quite a lot of farm. Maybe try and use that to an extent, and Parasite's getting some good farm as well. I would like to see actually Parasite trying to set up a gank, either middle or top. Probably top might be easier, but I mean the way Hellborn have laned it is quite beautiful in a sense that I mean Bubbles in the short lane can't really get killed regardless of how many. Actually, Bramble is going on to Bubbles here in the top lane, but good take cover in the end. But yeah, I just think I'd like to see some maybe rotation coming out from Legion to really secure them some kind of kills onto the leaderboard at the moment.
Yeah, you kind of bring that up. I almost forgot, honestly, there was a Bramble in this game. That top lane has been just very quiet when it comes down to it. Obviously, just a simple farm going back and forth, but as you said, that's to the genius of the Hellborn side in terms of how they laned it. I mean, Bubbles not doing too shabby for being in that situation. Hell, he's level 6 with 200 gold per minute just about. That's something you can be pretty happy of in the end, especially with the way everything else is going. So yeah, some fair farm of Bramble, but really not the most at the same time. I know you're trying to give them hope and everything, and I'm all for that, but I don't know. Across the board right now for the Legion side, I think they're going to need some kills here pretty quickly to start slowing things down and picking up some momentum, because simply put, the farm game is not really working on their favor. In fact, yeah, bottom lane, Behemoth going to go, and the fish on the wrong side. It might not matter, though. In comes the chain reactions. It still hits the impalement. Damage is going to be enough with the auto attack, and a haste of Behemoth helps to secure the kill right there. Middle lane, a little bit of a response. Rally actually getting back, though, before he gets taken out. And finally, some top lane action. Parasite goes in, and War Champ Please gets the kill on Parasite. So at least a hero kill for the Hellborn team finally coming out here.
Yeah, and I think as they've got the jungler, actually, if you look at the golden XP, for 3 kills in deficit, they're actually not too far behind. Only 1,400 or 1,500 gold and only 500 experience down. You'd actually expect that to be a lot higher, seeing as they are 3 kills down. But the way they've actually laned it in the sense of Parasite, he's level 7, farming quite well actually, 280 GPM, compared to the 2 supports actually with Master Arms and Behemoth, only level 3. So although they are down in terms of kills, I mean they're not too far behind because they have that jungle factor. I mean if Parasite can keep getting those ganks of which he has in the top lane, I mean this game is far from over, to say the least.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I mean, it's the stat line is definitely a little closer than I would have expected it to be, but in the end, you see Bramble, he's got the Plate of Grief. So, again, I don't know. It's kind of like they do have a team that can kind of group up and push. They got the Plate of Grief. They haven't mentioned Shaman, with the heal support. Polywog Priest, he's going to be level 6 here shortly. As soon as Polywog hits level 6, do you think it's a strat to maybe just go to a lane, maybe the top, bottom, or wherever, and just push here, or is that not worth it?
I don't know if they can really get off a push, because although they do have the Polywog Priest and some other sort of pushing mechanics, but it's just that Hellborn have such good counter push. They've got the Master of Arms, they've got the Behemoth, they've even got the Bubbles and even the Torturer to an extent. And I think what would be more actually beneficial is if they just try and take team fights away and outside of tower. Actually, bottom lane would be perfect if they could maybe get some TP rotation and get these kills. Actually, Behemoth is playing really far aggressive. They could easily capitalize on this if they actually TP down it, and because they want to take team fights because they've got the Parasite, they've got the Polywog Priest, and level 6 and Chipper, and they've got some good team fight potential. It's just kind of hard to really take those team fights near the tower because of that counter push. God, I'm
really thinking back to Master of Arms going to be jump right here. Parasite level 7, he puts in the leech. No ultimate going to be used just yet. There's the ultimate going on. Master of Arms will fall, and Torture misses the chain reaction stun. Impalement Doe doing plenty of damage as usual. Demented Shaman dropping. The heal bomb not going to go off in time. He will fall. Leech comes out of Torture. Electric Joe, one more auto attack, gets that kill right down to Torture, and now Behemoth is by himself. Leech is going to be coming up in 3 seconds. Behemoth in a lot of trouble now. He has a couple bottle charges here. There's a Leech. The fish is on. He's going to not be able to dodge it. His Parasite. One more auto attack. attack. Oh, too bad. Comes out. And Behemoth gets away. The Minotaur's going to be taken over in the meantime as Rowley's coming in right here. But Rowley's running into a trap, it looks like. Bramble with the stun to follow up the Minotaur stun. But Rowley does have that stun of his, of course, with the compel. Out comes the Vine Wall, though, but not the best placed, unfortunately. And both of them are going to be able to squeak out of there. So, yeah, the angle was just not the best. They're at least hoping for a kill on a Master of Arms, perhaps. But even with that, the compel obviously could have made the difference. So, a little bit of fight back there, though, from the Legion team once again. And again, they're getting some kills at least and slowing things down here. And maybe more, yeah, Master of Arms is going to be picked up. But, oh, this could be dangerous for them, though. Behemoth, he's coming in right here. He has the finish stun. No, the Minotaur's done in the face. There's a chance. Right in the face. He can't get the finish stun off. He finally does, but he dies shortly after. But with the fissure stun, allows the setup for the seismic slam, and down goes Chipper in response. You see the Minotaur Parasite. He comes out. Bramble Shrubbery's on him, though, and that will be enough to scare off the Hellborn side. So a little bit of clashing back and forth here at the bottom lane. But, I mean, overall, the gold lane and Bubbles is actually just sitting at the top lane during all of this, just farming away.
Yeah, I would definitely like to see him TP down bottom. I mean, the tier 1 for Hellborn is still up. He could easily come down and help with any of those engagements on it. The engagement was almost like 4 minutes long, it felt. And in the meantime, I mean, Legion did definitely, take the, not the advantage per se, but definitely came back into the game. I mean, they were like 3 kills down, but it sort of shortened it. It's only 1, and the XP is only 400. I mean, yeah, they're 2,300 gold down, but at least, it's definitely not, unreachable without a doubt.
Yeah. Yeah, the fact that Bubbles did not assist, a little bit curious about that, but hey, in the end, he is level 8 now. He's about 240 gold per minute. Again, this is not a suicide Bubbles necessarily. Oh, yeah, he nearly snipes out the Courier. One more auto attack would have done it, but Bramble gets his item, and actually the Courier is going to be fine. Bubbles still trying to snipe it out, though. Shell Surf, yes, he might get it! Oh, no! Just a little too far. He wasn't able to react, and the Courier's fine, so, yeah, I mean... But I was going to say, oh, geez, Polywog Priest, can he get out of here? Chain reactions, no, he can have a Parasite, goes in for the burst. And this is a leveling Parasite, man. He is deadly, and it turns out to be a double tap for the team. So I thought that was a sure kill on a Polywog, but I did not see Parasite. I don't know if the Hellborn team did either. We got middle lane. Oh, yeah, they're going to be clashing right here. Fidget Stun comes out, Rowley with the compel. But as soon as he does, the Storm Cloud comes out, just enough for Chipper, and he turns it around just before he falls. Now, technically, he died first, but it doesn't matter. Gets the Canico Parasite going in once again. The Stomp from Behemoth auto attacks to follow. Oh, the Botto charges, though. Just enough, and the miss auto attack didn't help either in the end. So, I mean, they take the hero kill lead, though, and you look at Parasite's impact. I mean, Quincy brought up a stat earlier about that. As far as the Parasite impact is concerned, getting the earlier levels, he's getting those here at level 9 already.
Top lane.
Yeah, Torture chasing, but Bramble, he's tanky. Polywog Priest coming. There's a firewall. Oh, beautiful tongue tie. The synergy is there. Bramble with the Spore Breath, and down goes Torturer. This Legion team is really turning it on when it comes to teamwork all of a sudden. Bubbles, he's thinking about maybe diving, but no, he will not. And, I mean, wow, what a change of pace here.
I told you, I mean, Cost is buff, or Cost is...
the other way.
Maybe, I don't know. And in the end, yeah, they take the experience lead, and yeah, they're only... lacking 200 gold behind, and that's absolutely negligible, particularly 12 minutes in, without a doubt. And actually, they might even get in this kill mid lane as well. Master Arms might be in trouble, but no, could not catch it. But yeah, I mean, Legion are playing excellent, absolutely excellent, without a doubt. I mean, they're finding their hero kills, and I think they're helping their teammates, without a doubt. You said before that the team play. I mean, Hellborn are looking for the ganks, and it's just the the Legion rotating and helping them where they can. Yeah,
13 minutes in right here. I mean, both thinking around 6. Yeah, exactly. Well, that's an interesting stat, actually. 61 to 62%.
I didn't know that. Yeah. I didn't know Quincy could even get that.
What does that even mean?
I have no idea what that means.
They're like capable. They're like max creep kill potential, I guess. I don't know. That's got a very interesting stat to read right there. Maybe get some more explanation on what that actually means in the end. But we do see middle lane, though. Yeah, here's that push that we're talking about. So now that they've gotten those hero kills, now the push can start coming along between the wards, of course, from Polywog to the Vine Wall from Bramble. I mean, that's another very, very powerful push. And then the Storm Cloud on top of it all with the Heal Bomb from Demented Shaman. Okay, 100% efficiency is, okay, so the overall goal per minute. Very cool. That's a very cool stat.
Surely you could get above the 100% efficiency if you had like high creep kills and tower kills and hero kills.
That makes sense, yeah. I mean, you probably could, but I'd be curious to see like average efficiency between games to kind of see how it compares. But oh, we're getting caught up in that. In the meantime, Master of Arms gets picked up, but what a fight is brewing. Parasite, he gets help with the Calfield. He used his Codex right there, which he just got out of the way. Big ultimate from Behemoth on top of Rally, and down they both go. Bramble, he comes in with the Spore Breath right there. The Vinyl already put down, but little did he know his teammates were getting picked off in the background. And that was just a great find, though, from the Hellborn side. Excellent ultimate from Behemoth, leading into the Rally portal key initiation, and it's not over just yet. Chipper's also going to be caught, and he will definitely fall shortly after. So all that momentum that the Legion team had going, all of a sudden going downhill, all because of a portal key on Rally.
Yeah, and this is what I said before. I mean, pushing as the Legion side is just a little bit risky because they don't really have that quote-unquote, like minion pusher like Tempest, like Ophelia. So really to put damage onto the tower, they need to really lose their sort of location, sort of positioning factor. And as a result, Hellborn completely capitalized on it. And you see the Behemoth Rally combination and absolutely devastating. As a result, Hellborn leading 5,000 gold, 4,400 XP.
Yeah. Okay, you see right there, so confirmation, yeah, BMG had the highest throughout the current cut over Pearly, and that was only at 83% overall. So, I mean, technically it's doable, it's one of those things, but yeah, very likely not a not a feasible reach. But yeah, again, kind of a curious stat right there. Very, very cool, Quincy. But yeah, I mean, I really do think back. I mean, it's even kind of being brought up in chat right now. So we're going to bring this up earlier before they started making a bit of a comeback and some momentum. But now that it's kind of back once again in the Hellborn's favor, the bottle situation at the very beginning of the game with the middle lane, you really just think back how impactful that truly was. I mean, not only does it take away a bottle from Chipper, delays his farm further, it lessens his spam potential to harass in the lane for the next couple of minutes, but it also gives Behemoth a bottle to constantly roam around more effectively, regenerating his mana quickly, to use the fissures more openly, and go down the way to the early Striders, and now it's soon going to be a portal key. So you really just got to think about that and just how much of a swing such a small thing Leon can make. But Toplin, in the meantime, they're diving this Master of Arms, and a lot of TPs come in, so they're going to get the kill. But as I say, but at what cost right here? In comes Rally, the jump on a Chipper immediately. Capel comes out, down goes Chipper, one kill already, no chainsaws used. Bramble, he is holding his ground, and snaring Sharpery helping to do so. The Ward's also putting on plenty of damage, but Polywog Priest, he's going to be chased down, puts out the frog on a Rally, maybe just enough range, never mind. Portal Key gets the job done. Double tap for side cash right there. Playing the Rally. Bramble in the meantime can Torture, cut him off. Chain reactions. Yes, he can. Beautiful placement from Leaf 6 right there. And down goes Bramble. They did not even get the tower kill on top of it all. So they dope a tower to kill a support Master of Arms. And it results in 3 of their deaths. I think that's speaking of efficiency, that wasn't so efficient.
I have to admit, that Torture Stun was so perfectly placed. You see, it actually stunned Bramble, at the same time it actually cut down the tree, so it actually gave him a path to run through and get the final auto attack. So that was so well played, coming out from Leaf on the Torture. But yeah, going back to the Courier and the Bottle, if you think about it just in stats, that's actually almost like a 1,300 gold swing, because obviously 600 gold taken away from Chipper, 600 gold given to Behemoth, and as well as the Courier being, taken a kill of, as well as being bought for the Legion. And that, I mean, and stats don't say the whole story, like you said before. Helps Behemoth roaming. It gives him. He doesn't even have to buy really the Ring of Sorcery. He can go straight for the portal key right now, which it looks like he's saving up for. So actually, it's a bigger deal than you'd even expect at the start. Yeah,
it's just a swing one way and the takeaway on the other side is what it comes down to. Parasite in the meantime. Oh, he hasn't opened. Does that still level 1 Codex? Even with it, though, it's probably going to be enough. Yeah, I mean, he did the math, and he was certain of it. A level 1 Codex gets the kill, the level 2 purchased. So I think this is more of a hindsight now, but what do you think of the Codex choice? And then, well, let's go this route. What do you think about him leveling it up now?
Yeah,
is that worth it?
I agree with taking the level 1 Codex without a doubt, because whenever I used to play Codex, whenever I used to play Parasite, sorry, I think it's always good to get level 1 Codex because you can have a lot of impact in the game compared to, say, a level 1 puzzle box. But leveling up the Codex, I completely disagree with, particularly now Parasite's got the extra changes to his Infest, making the Infest even stronger, and thereby increasing the potential and effectiveness of the puzzle box minions. So I think your level 1 puzzle box is fine. Level 1 Codex is fine, but after that you need to start leveling up the puzzle box, because it just helps the team fight extraordinarily, like by a lot. And Codex just leveling it up, yeah, it helps with ganking, but in terms of team fight, it doesn't really help all that much compared to, say, a puzzle box. So yeah. I disagree with leveling it up.
All right, we see across the board any bigger items coming out here. So one of them we never really talked about initially was Torture, actually, with the Light Brand purchase. He's bought a Mighty Blade, though, now. So I wonder if that's going to now turn into a Shrunken Head. I mean, he's not going to go in Frostburn, is he? That doesn't, or it wouldn't be Frostburn, I guess Frozen Light in this case. Well, what do you think of that decision? I mean, whatever it may be, instead of just going straight Grimoire here.
I'm assuming it's just going to be a Strong and Head because there's a lot of Legion magical damage, and at the same time, a lot with Torturer to really put the damage out, you need to be in front of the team fight. Bottom lane actually, Brady's going to be getting picked off.
Yeah, now we got Bubbles, though, coming in. He wants a response. He needs more help, though. Kevfoot already used, and Torture cannot get there in time. So speaking of Torture, he ports in, but again, he doesn't have that jump in like a Bubbles does right there. So Bubbles, especially with that portal key, got there a little too quickly for the spawns. But good kill initially, that's what it comes down to. And yeah, good out there from Quincy. You see Parasite, the fact that he has at least 6 kills and 3 assists already, leads to a 7-1 record as far as the recent history goes. So definitely some very good hope for the Legion team in terms of what they got going. And again, you look at this Hellborn side, I mean, we were just talking about Torture. I mean, this isn't a, oh, they got that right-click hard carry that's going to ultimately take over this Legion team. I mean, neither side really has a true late-game potential team in the end.
Yeah, and that's why I think it actually makes most sense that there's definitely hope for Legion, because actually top lane Bramble's going to most likely be falling.
Maybe it's Bramble, though. I don't know about that. He puts the Ensnaring Shrubbery up, even as his ultimate if need be. Behemoth is chasing with that portal key. He has power supply charges, and as well as that bottle that we were talking about. There's the Astral Abuse, so he just got that finish. Here comes Demented Shaman as well. The Wine Ball comes out. Behemoth in a lot of trouble himself. Now Stormcloud going to be used. And look at Bramble, as I said, he's so damn tanky, especially with the assistance right there. And now Master of Arms, he needs to get out of here. I don't know if he's going to, though. Rocket's starting to come out. He hits 2. Can he hit the 3rd rocket to get the kill? Not even needed. Chainsaws with the Entangle gets the job done. Rally is coming in, however. Oh, they're looking for a response. They're pissed off. They want Vengeance, damn it. And Vengeance they're probably going to get at least on a Chipper right here. Maybe both. Demented Shaman, yeah, he's going to fall right there to Rally. And now Chipper's going to be cut off, and he too will fall. Parasite opens. Oh, the General Torture. Chipper stays alive just long enough to assist for the kill. Parasite's playing a ballsy game here, but it is paying off, man. 8-1-3. Goes away in the Ballista. Buys time for Bramble to get back in. And finally, it looks like the fight will finish. I mean, just when it looks like one team is going to come out on top, the other team comes back in. It's just back and forth, man.
Yeah, and I actually think that it was in favour of Legion, though, because they killed the Torturer, actually playing the carry Torturer. And look at his GPM, only 350, and just before he was talking about how there's no sort of set hard carry, and I think this really favours the Legion, because regardless of how long this game goes on, there's no team that's going to really get ahead, and as Legion are behind, I think that's actually in their kind of favour, as well as picking off their sort of hardest carry in terms of Hellborn. I think that trade was definitely in favour of Legion. So, I mean, they're only 3,000 gold behind, 1,500 experience. That's kind of nothing.
Yeah.
If you think it's only 20 minutes in. So, yeah, I mean, this game is still anyone's game to take.
Yeah, it really does feel like, again, overall, speaking of that efficiency stat that we're going at earlier, I mean, neither side really overwhelming farming. I mean, yes, it is more in favour of the Hellborn team overall. But, you know, the top farm of the game is 357 gold per minute in a rally. So, again, that's not necessarily the most threatening, the most scary overall. Granted, he does have a Soul's Bulwark now, and that mixed with a Portal Key, of course, almost even a level 16 Seismic Slam. That's a lot of freaking damage going to be coming out. But as we just talked about, Bramble with the not only the Ensnaring Shrubbery, but also those Plated Greaves, very effective item to have in this case. Kind of going across the board, too, you know, wondering about an item like a Soul's Bulwark here for the Legion team. With that said, it maybe kind of mitigate some of that physical presence, but there's a lot of magic presence, though, at the same time on the Hellborn side. So, I mean, if you were to go one or the other, Barrier Idol or a Soul's Bulwark here at least, which would you rather see in this case?
I think it has to be the Barrier Idol, because although there is physical presence on Hellborn, it's mainly magical. Look at like Marshall's Behemoth, even the main sort of carry is mainly magical, as well as, I mean, Bradley's the only physical presence, so I mean, Barrier Idol I think would definitely be the preferred option here for Bramble. But actually, I'd like to even see a Portal Key come out from it. I know it sounds strange, but they don't really have, quote-unquote, the real initiation. Yeah, they have Polywog tablet, but I think, you know, Portal Key on Bramble would definitely secure them sort of the initiation factor that Hellborn have actually middle lane.
Oh yeah, Polywog free, so you are caught. Good sir! Speaking of the tablet, it almost actually got him away, but it just wasn't enough. And now Chipper is completely out of mana. This is not a fight that the Legion team wants to fight, and they need to run away because Chipper is going to be caught in the background. Parasite says, no, damn it, I want to live, and I want to get a kill while I'm at it. That he does. He takes over the creep at the last second. Bramble's going in. The Spore Breath also putting us down on a Behemoth, but everyone will stay alive minus a Polywog who died initially, so I was not too sure about going in right there, but let's just say they were, especially Parasite yet again, and they get the kill. Parasite, I think that's now a level 3 Codex there. Maybe even, oh, I think it might be even level 4 at this point. Or was that, no, because he's still in the creep. So I think it's maybe only level 3. We'll double check that in a second, but they are still pushing right here, but Polywog's up in 8 seconds. I think if you're the Hellborn side now, yeah, you might want to think about that retreat. There we go. They do have triple Portal Key. That's obviously huge, but Yeah, they fall back, and that'll be that push right there. So, have we seen the Codex yet? No, he's still in the creep, damn it. But, yeah, I mean, so we do have the Staff of the Master going to be coming up for Chipper. But, yeah, so Portal Key on Bremo, I mean, it does get the Shaman's Headdress. It looks like it is going to be a Barrier Idol. I don't know. I guess where I'm getting, I don't know if I really agree with that, because the fact that, I don't know.
I mean, either could work, honestly, but did you see how they ganked, I think, was it the Demented Shaman or Chippin? Like, they all had portal keys, they instantly killed it, and then as a result, they could start on the tier 2. Like, they don't really have the potential to do that. Yeah, they have the Parasite, but they need a little bit extra sort of follow-up, and I think a portal key either on the Polywog Priest or the Bramble. I mean, they can go for the Barrier Idol, but I mean, the portal key would also work. I know it sounds really, really weird, but they just need some kind of, I think they need some extra sort of initiation, because I don't think Parasite in like a Wild Hunter is enough really to warrant initiation, because in terms of Hellborn, they've got the real initiation factor. They've got the Bubbles portal key, they've got the Rally portal key, they've even got the Behemoth portal key. And actually, Torture's going to be falling again to Parasite, and that Codex is level 5.
I thought it was level 3.
Man, he's been having a fantastic game. 378 GPM, 10-1 and 3. I mean, and you can see why. I mean, Parasite's been blind banned a lot in these recent competitive matches.
Yeah, you brought up that point exactly. It sounds so his Infest did get buffed up a little bit in the last patch, and maybe just overall with some other tweaks here and there across the board, bringing some attention back to Parasite. Not that he really ever fell off completely. I mean, this is always still a valuable option, just in jungle in general. Of course, not nearly as potent as it was, say, a couple months ago, say last season even. But Parasite, speaking of, now this is kind of interesting. Bubbles invis, so was the Wild Hunter Parasite. Now he's going to come out, and Bubbles realizing that, so just picking up information for the team right now. Ooh, maybe even seeing that Ward of Sight being played. So that's unfortunate for the Legion side, because I would not be surprised if a Ward of Rev is purchased here quickly and eventually counters that Ward of Sight that was placed. Look at Torture, though. I keep looking back at him, and he's still sitting on those same items now for like 10 minutes.
And that's because of Parasite, though. That's because Parasite is honestly carrying their team at the moment. Like, he's 10-1 and 3. He's had such a fantastic game. They were looking so bad, and it was Parasite who helped in that early game. He's helped in the mid game, and he's helping them now to really stay in this game. I mean, they're actually ahead in terms of XP, and actually Bramble's going in on Bubbles top room.
Yeah, the Rev 4 did actually spot him in the end. Bramble picks it up. You see Parasite is nearby, just in case any opening did happen. I mean, all 5 are here from the Hellborn side, but they just could not get there, even with the triple portal key. Did not feel confident enough initiating in the end. So, I mean, this is buying more time for the Legion side. Again, bigger items coming out. Staff of the Master on Chipper. You speak of Staff of the Master on certain heroes nowadays that are actually core. No doubt Chipper's one of those with the effect to his ultimate. You also got to think, so you mentioned Parasite. You would have maybe liked to see the puzzle box. He does get a level 5 Codex in the end. But now we can now go into a puzzle box. And with the level 5 Codex on top of that, pretty damn good to have
definitely.
that.
And the perfect thing about that is that he can really go into, like, I don't know if you've seen the new change to Infest, but actually Infest, you can stay in it for so long that if you stay in it after 30 seconds, you can jump into one creep, and then, like, if you stay in it for 30 seconds, you can jump out, Codex, kill someone, and then jump back in straight away because of the change to the Infest. And I mean, leveling up Codex, although I said it's probably not as preferable as leveling up the puzzle box, you can kill someone, jump out, and then jump back in, and have complete safety as a result of it. So with the puzzle box, you can maybe go into like a Wild Hunter, jump out, kill someone, then pop his puzzle box, and then jump back into it, and still be a presence into the team fights. So yeah, honestly, this Parasite is having such a big impact, though. And look at Hellborn, they're playing so defensive because of this Parasite. They're kind of sticking together, and because they're just scared of him. So really, I mean, Warchamp, please, is playing fantastic without doubt.
He certainly is, and another, as usual, very interesting stat right there. Biggest line that stands out to me in that one is Master of Arms 0-6 in games that go past 30 minutes, so 2 minutes away. I don't think this game is ending in the next couple of minutes, so is this going to be the game that's different here for a Master of Arms, or is this going to be going along that trend? Now, I don't know if there's any set reason as to why that's the case, just happens to be coincidence. In the end, I will say Master of Arms is, of course, used much more as just an absolute main support nowadays than he is more of that utility and even a carry role, so maybe that has a bit to do with it as well. But Staff of the Master, is that finished now? I believe it is. Yeah, we do see the items being delivered to Chipper. So indeed he has that. The portal key on Polywog Priest. So you talked about some initiation. They do got at least a little bit there now. With that portal key purchase. Middle lane, Rally. Whew, yeah, he went in right there as Parasite was coming in for a counter, but neither team able to react fast enough. So we've definitely been in a little bit of a null phase here for these last 5 minutes or so. Teams finally starting to get a little at the point of, all right, let's be safe here. Let's not rush some things. Maybe Kongor could be a possibility here for the Hellborn side especially. Not the most wards around the pit currently for them to do that. Shrunken Head just finished on Torture, though, by the way. So that goes back to that. Oh, Bramble, though, yeah, he's in a lot of trouble and nowhere to TP for this Legion team to help. He's going to have to fight his own battle right here, maybe take somebody with him. That's not going to happen, though. He's going for the run. There's a beautiful fissure block, though, and Bramble doing his best to kind of get through the trees. That's not going to happen, though. He does fall as a Seismic Slam connects in the end. So good find there, and, you know, with all the portal keys, it was bound to happen. They're middle now. They went to the base tower, though, to not really get the Legion team's attention, but it looks like Chipper and Demented Shaman are going to fall back before anything really happens. So, yeah, there's that portal key coming into play.
But yeah, there's the portal key coming out from like Polywog, and I think now they've got the initiation factor, so the portal key in Bramble is probably not even needed nowadays, so he can even bulk up, go get his barrel order, which will help the team extraordinarily, and there's the Parasite again. I mean, he must be so frustrated. He might even get caught here, actually, if Bubbles can use... No, he doesn't have the tablet on range, but yeah, in the bottom lane, Polywog might be in Troll Rally and Torture. Torture has picked up the Shrunken Head, but I don't know if we mentioned that or not, but...
Yeah, just got that very recently, so... has that now to make him effect. I mean, it's funny looking at the Parasite's inventory. You would look at it and be like, oh, this guy's not having that great of a game, but, you know, you factor in that it's obviously a level 5 Codex and how that makes all the difference, and he's 11-1-3, and once again, keep going back to the impact here in this game as to why they actually even have a chance and have a decent shot here. Demented Shaman in the meantime, though, very quick pick. That's the portal keys, though, just how quickly it happens here. With the PK initiation. So you see the Legion team, I mean, they're trying to get any kind of response, but...
They should back off. They should honestly go split push mid and top because they cannot fight 4v5, but they're trying to.
They want it. They're going to go. Torture's going to be the focus target. He has that Shrunken Head, remember, but it doesn't matter. It gets bursted out before. In comes a shockwave from Behemoth, but it only hit Bramble, and Bramble doesn't give two shits. The Fine Wall comes out. Behemoth, he gets tapped it away at the last second, whatever it was. He's going to barely survive. Rally in the meantime now falling back as well. The Hellborn team completely retreating. Bubbles in the meantime over here. He's going to use that takeover. The quick portal key. Parasite, he is in the chase, though. He has the Legion. 4 seconds. The rocket hits! It hit! It's not over the go, but the Codex just snipe him out. And you know what? He got it right there. Something we rarely see, I feel, used to its effect is the dust. He used the dust to get the vision. Not for invis, simply for the vision to finish him off.
Honestly, I mean, he's playing so fantastic. And then that dust play, yeah, again, like you said, we don't see it often, but that was the reason why he got that kill. And as a result, they could get the tier 2. So impressive play. And like you see, bottom line, I said, oh yeah, they should back off because they're 4v5, but you saw how quickly they bursted Torturer down that, I mean, in the end, they could still fight a 4v5. In this Codex and this Parasite, I said it before and I say it again, he's having such a big impact in this game.
Yeah. Yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, going into that fight, exactly, you kind of question what they were doing. I was 100% with you, but... They completely made the opposite of what we expected to happen, and obviously in their favor. So we have a 22-19 hero kill game. I mean, these stats here, I don't think it's been over 5,000 gold or experience for either side. It seems like it's just been swinging back and forth. You know, more in favor now of the Legion team than it's been lately. So Bramble, he is going to lead the way, pushing the bottom lane. This is a little bit of a bait, though, because Parasite is invis nearby. He has his cooldowns. In comes the Fine Wall. Guarantee the tower kill. Maybe deny. No, it is going to be tower kill. Rally goes in, but at what cost here? He gets jumped on by Parasite, but no. The Master's Call comes out. He got the quick pick on the Demented Shaman, and now Bramble is in trouble. So the bait was a little too much there by the Legion side. And it does not work out as planned. So a double tap. I mean, they did get the tower kill, but a double tap for rallying them. Behemoth, he's like, team, I got them cut off, but it might cost him his life in the end. They're trying to keep him alive. Barely power supply. No, it does not. So good idea there by Mini Beaver, but yeah, the team was not really ready to back him up to its fullest right there. So a little bit antsy there.
Yeah, and I think that, honestly, this is happening quite a few times, honestly, because it looks like Agent's family get a good pick-off, and I mean, it looks like it's going well for them, and then they just overextend just that little bit too much, and as a result, I mean, they just get caught out, and they can't really capitalise on that, and as a result, it's going back and forth, back and forth. Yeah, it's definitely making for an interesting game, but, I mean, I still couldn't tell you who's going to take this game. It's so close.
Yeah, no, this is easily anyone's game when it comes down to it between these two teams. So yeah, not surprised to see that we have such a close matchup. And again, to kind of go over, overall what is on the line here. Now, these are the qualifiers for the HON Tour Season 3. 6 teams are already in the Diamond Division. They do not have to participate in this. Those are the Carnage and Caldivar teams that were in the Pro League, of course, this last season. So we already have 6 teams, and only 2 more are going to be joining them. The top 2 teams here from these qualifiers will be joining them in the Diamond Division. But, of course, it's not only Diamond. There's also Gold, Silver, and Bronze for these teams to compete in for Gold Coin up to prize pool, of course. And, again, the prize pool, the very interesting thing with the Ursa Core, as it was just announced, with only a couple of days of the Esports Plinko, the prize pool is already doubled. It's already at $17,000, and we still have 2.5 more weeks, 3 weeks almost, to go with that. So, I mean, that's just for one cycle, and that's going to be a thing every single cycle. So, to say the least, there's a good amount of money, and we really mean it. There's a good amount of money on the line for all those cycles coming up. But again, this right here is the top 2 teams will move on to the Diamond Division to compete in that first cycle. So once again, that's really what's on the line here. Ultimately, these teams being the losers bracket, so you lose, you are done here. And I believe you'll probably, you'll be in the Gold Division at this point. If you win this, though, it keeps you alive and a chance for that Diamond Division. And every Diamond team is guaranteed a portion of that prize pool in the end. So that's also another big deal when it comes down to it. But there you go. It's kind of a rundown there. I keep looking at this Torture, man. You mentioned it's because of Parasite. He's had the Shrunken Head, but he has 1,500 gold saved out now with the Light Brand. So you think this is still just going to ultimately be a Grimoire, though?
I think it has to be, because it's not going to be a Dawnbringer, and I don't think Light Brand on its own is just that good of an item to really just keep it for an item stock. I think it has to be a Grimoire. It's going to increase his damage output as well as his mana regen. I mean, Torture is one of the heroes that is probably the most mana required hero probably in the game. One item pickup I'd like to talk about is the Shrunken Head on Parasite. Something I really disagree with. It's because, like, yeah, he might be afraid of dying or taking a lot of damage in team fights, but that's what the Paralysis Box is for. The Infest has been buffed so dramatically right now that he needs to sort of use it and abuse it, to say the least. Like, he can jump into a creep and then jump out and then pretty much jump back into one straight away. And with the Puzzle Box, you can really use and abuse it, and Shrunken Head just doesn't really play to the hero's strengths per se. Maybe he just wants to secure a mortal, and so he's playing greedy with a Shrunken Head. But even then, I think the Puzzle Box would be a safer choice, honestly.
Yeah, I 100%. That's a very not a pickup that you would expect to see of high impact in this game, especially like you said with the Infest buff. And part of me does kind of go back to I hate to say it, especially again, this isn't the top tier teams by any means, but these are still very competitive teams, obviously, especially even getting this far. At this level, you would like to think something as trivial as not really being comfortable using a puzzle box isn't a thing. I mean, it's not the easiest item to use in the end, because you have to focus on a lot of things in the end, especially with a hero like Parasite. But at the same time, that shouldn't be an excuse. So I'm not saying that is the excuse here by any means, but perhaps there's a little bit of that at least. But
and the only problem is that if he does decide to get the puzzle box, actually middle lane.
Yeah, they're going to be jumping in right here for the quick kill, but it's not so quick in the end. Rally the Defensive Master's Call comes out. There's a quick burst in the end, but a big Shockwave counter-initiated from Behemoth. That's what he does, baby. Unbreakable comes out on a Polywalk Priest. They get the kill on Parasite, though. Finally taking him out. Wow. Polywalk Priest does get away with the portal key. And in the end, that will be the fight. A lot of P's coming out here. But Parasite, I mean, what kind of streak were we looking at there? Yeah, 669 gold bonus for Torture there. That is huge. Bubbles wants this kill. Uh-oh. Yeah, it might come at a cost, though. He doesn't take cover. Is it going to be enough in the end? Hex comes out. You see Master of Arms is there doing all that he can. He blast shot, not an ability we see often, but it's still not enough to save the Bubbles teammate. So a little bit of greed there from Bubbles, cost him his life.
Yeah, again, we talked about, getting a good pick off onto the Parasite, and then they go a little bit too aggressive and get a parry as a result. But I mean, Parasite, he buys a Shrunken Head and then just doesn't use it. Oh,
that's
so
the worst,
frustrating. I was
isn't it?
watching it. If he had a puzzle box, I'm not saying if he had a puzzle box he would have survived there, but he would have definitely had a better survival chance than a Shrunken Head, because he didn't even use the Shrunken Head. I mean, but if he did use the Shrunken Head, to be fair, I think he would have survived. I mean, there was so much magical damage coming out. But he didn't pop it before he went for the kill. Got a little bit too greedy. Tried to secure the kill first, but you always need to sort of secure your own safety and then go for the kill instead. He didn't, and as a result, paid with his life. And I mean, 666 or 667 gold to Torture, who is technically the hard carry here for Hellborn, is probably the worst person to give it to.
Yeah.
So, something that he needs to, take into account into the next team fight.
Now, he goes the portal key, actually, on Torture. I mean, so we have 4 portal keys now on the Hellborn side, compared to the 1 on the Legion side, and that, of course, belonged to Polywog. But do you like the portal key progress? Was it necessary here with all what they have?
I mean, I can understand why he's going, because he wants to sort of blow up the whole team before they even have a chance to really do something, which makes sense because they're kind of playing like a mirror matchup. And when you play a mirror matchup, obviously I think initiation is even more key, because if you can take them out before they even do their own spells and their own sort of team fight potential, and then you're most likely going to come out ahead. But at the same time, they have enough initiation. I feel that the Behemoth, the Bubbles, and as well as the Rally has the portal key, they have enough initiation factor. The one thing they don't really have is the lockdown. They need the sheeps. They need even more damage per se, and obviously portal key doesn't ensure that. So I honestly do disagree with the iron pickup just by a little bit. Yeah.
Now, this is interesting right here. You see the items coming out on Polywog Priest as the Blessed Orb and a Glowstone on top of that. So, I mean, the only thing, wow, Frostwolf Skull.
Yeah.
I was kidding. That's like the only thing that those 2 components make, unless I'm completely mistaken on something. But, so I don't know if that's just simply he just wants the raw stats, and those are going to eventually make into something else, like a sheep stick maybe, and then into an icon or even a staff. But
no, I think that makes sense. But like we talked about the crazy initiation coming out from Hellborn, and maybe he just wants to bulk up that. If he can sort of survive, maybe get a few spells off, maybe the Morph, maybe the Voodoo Wards before he gets bursted down, I mean, that team fight can completely change. So I do understand where he's coming from. But I think the Sheepstick would again maybe be the way to roll, because both of these teams kind of lack a little bit of lockdown. They have quite a lot of damage in terms of sort of magical damage, but they need the lockdown to really secure the sort of team fights, and I think the Sheepstick would have ensured that. But at the same time, I do understand his sort of thinking behind that, and at the same time, it does make sense. So I can't fault him for that.
Oh, middle line. Okay, yep. That's why. They're like, oh, kill the running illusion Polywog. Yeah, that's an illusion. Not a big deal. Now, again, something to keep in mind. So I feel like there's a lot of mitigation purposes being put out on the Legion side in terms of magic. All the shrunken heads, the barrier idol that we talked about, that Bramblewood were first. But he does have a Soul Spork now. But you look at the most damage done on the Hellborn team, it is Rally. And that's all physical damage coming out from him. So, again, and you got that on top of the goo that's being put down from Master of Arms, even more physical presence that is possible. I'm not saying that they should be really focusing on that. I'm not saying they should be buying Frostfield plates by any means, but it is something to keep in mind. Even with the shrunken heads and the barrier idol, they still have a lot of damage threat coming in from a hero like Rally. Now, top lane, that was kind of awkward, although it's difficult. Polywog Priest wards there remaining. 3 heroes there for the Hellborn side, but it does get the tower kill, so they're not able to deny it in time. Good job by Polywog Priest right there.
Yep, Polywog Priest OP.
That's
everyone
what he does.
should first pick him every single time. But no, it's true though. I mean, it sort of secures in the tower, even though they don't have the potential to be there. You saw all 5 of them were sort of rotating over. There was only 3 of them then, and yet they still get the tower kill because of those Voodoo Wards. I mean, I said before, Polywog does sort of fail in terms of the laning phase if you play him as support. In this case, he was sort of played as like a mid-initiator, even though he was bottom. It was kind of awkward how they laned it, but in the end, that's why I do like sort of support Polywog, because he can sort of still do this if you can sort of get him out of the laning phase. So.
Yeah.
He's one of my particular favourite supports.
Oh, big fight coming out right here. Bramble, no, he's tanky, but is he taking him? No, he's not. That's a seismic slam. They did get the pick on a Master Runs at the back on his Parasite, but he used everything to do that. So a 1-for-1 exchange clearly in favor of the Hellborn team. And now here comes their push. Now, Sharknado was used by Rally, so that's not going to be up currently. Torturer does have his, though, but... Again, no Codex up, but it's up in 6 seconds, so not the longest cooldown. Legion team, they want to reset this. We talked about earlier, well, do they really want to jump in? They do this time once again. Torture, he's going to be the target. They're trying to burst him down. Not nearly enough just yet, though. There's a shrunken head. In the meantime, the burst on a Rally. His shrunken head is down, and he does fall. The final comes out. The wards from Polywog Priest. So much blockage going to be happening, and that will disrupt the pathing of the Hellborn side. Torture, nice portal at the last second. It does save the day. Behemoth is like, I'm taking my own life here, but I'm taking you guys a lot of time to kill me in the end. That's going to not only... Oh, you know what? I'm sitting here thinking it's going to save Torture, but Polywog Priest was saying, you ain't going nowhere. The level 4 tongue tie locks him down completely for the kill. Behemoth does fall in the end, and a complete wipe up in favor of the Legion side right there. And this is now their biggest lead of the game. 9,000 gold and experience lead all of a sudden for this Legion team.
Yeah, and I think they need to sort of push this and take advantage of this. They don't have any buybacks. I think they should notice that as well. Rally's bought the demonic breastplate. Tortur's bought out the Grimmer of Power, and Behemoth as well is sort of secondary support. So you shouldn't expect him to have a buyback, and they need to go right now, right here.
That's what exactly they're going to do. Now the wards are going to be coming up shortly here, especially for Bramble. You see, you're looking at 6 seconds currently. In comes a shell surf from Bubbles, but that's not going to be nearly enough to scare them off. You know, they're doing as much counter push as possible. But there we go. The fireballs come out. There's the Kelfield again, just simply trying to scare them. But they know by now no buybacks are going to be happening here on the Hellborn side. This is a free set of racks in the end. Well played there by the Legion side. As you said, they needed to go, and they agreed right there. In fact, maybe even Conquer. Yeah, maybe not. It might be a little too much of a risk. But
yeah. But that is great play. I mean, that's exactly what they needed. And as a result, they've got the racks. And this whole game, we was looking. It was looking bad for Legion, and now look at them, 11,000 gold, 9,000 experience, and I think this goes back to Hellborn really not having that kind of late game presence. I said I think it would favour Legion, and as a result, it has.
Yeah, you see right there the efficiency jumping up by 10% for the Legion team right here. I keep calling them Legion and Hellborn because honestly, I'm forgetting the names. Frog No Hippo over here compared to Adrian's family. So. Frog No Hippo jumping up 10% right there in efficiency, and obviously that's showing across the board. That's how much of an effective impact that truly is having. So, Polywalk Priest, he just bought something, by the way. Is it on the courier? No, nothing on the courier just yet, but again, we'll have to wait and see what that ultimately does turn into. But Bramble, another 2,300 gold saved up. You have a support Demented Shaman now. He's got a tablet, some bracers here, so tanking out. Bramble, he likes to get caught out, man. Again, he's taking enough this time to last a little bit longer. The Vine Wall going to be used, but again, just not enough time to buy the support to get in there. So Bramble, he's feeling really ballsy here, but I mean, we see the physical damage is what really does it. With the goo down and Rally gets off that seismic slam, he just falls when that happens. But the Legion team, yet again, this has been rinse and repeat. Oh, the phaser gets off. He goes on the ledge. However, this is a bad spot now for Parasite all of a sudden. In the background, Behemoth is going to be cut off, but down goes Parasite. He had a shrunken head, and he didn't use it that whole time. Shockwave does go off for Behemoth right before he dies, and it might buy enough time for the Hellborn team to come in and finish these guys off. Rally's looking for some more kills, putting in the auto attacks. A beautiful chain reaction stuns on Torment's doing a lot of damage, and down falls Taper. Parasite with a buyback. The Codex, it doesn't kill Bubbles, but it gets him damn low, but he is still alive. Demented Shaman going to be picked up by Rally, and Bubbles will survive. That's going to be so frustrating for Parasite right there. The buyback thought he had the easy kill, but Bubbles does get away in the end. So with everything that happened right there, Parasite face hug, it took him over the ledge, and that couldn't have been better for the Hellborn team there.
Yeah, oh, that was honestly so unlucky timing. I thought he was actually gonna like not follow with him because he went over the ledge, but in the end he did follow, and that set up the whole sort of process. But at the same time, I mean, it was a risk they didn't really have to take. I mean, Bramble was dead. They was fighting 4v5. In the end, they took it, and it cost Parasite a buyback, and it was to no avail. I mean, yeah, they have the racks, but I mean, a couple engagements like that, I mean, Hellborn could definitely be back in this game.
Yeah. It does feel a little weird, you know, questioning this Legion team when they're jumping in, because it seems like we've done that several times now, and it's actually worked out for them in the end.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, and I still think that situation right there is if anything one of those things where they kept tempting fate. You know, they kept putting their hand in the cookie jar, and in the end, the mom finally got them and slapped their hand and beat them up or something. I don't know. Child abuse, that's bad. But anyways, Behemoth in the meantime, he's going to continue farming here off to the side in his own jungle. But so yeah, kind of resetting things now. The Legion team, they still have a lead, 9,000 gold lead. Again, 4,900 experience. Do the comparison of the shrunken head. Several times now. I mean, he just simply has not used it in fights, let alone really. I mean, that's 3,900 gold that he invested into this item. And, is it really giving him the biggest impact to this game? So
it's kind of sort of reminded me a bit of Complexity players. I remember, like, not to flame anyone from the old Complexity days, but they'd pick up Stronger Heads and then just not use them. And it's, like you said, I mean, if you're not using the Stronger Heads, then just buy some stats, because clearly, I mean, they would be a lot more useful.
Yeah, we know exactly who you're talking about. So I'm just going to go ahead and say it. The Beacon Hammerstorm is that memorable time. Not knowing how to use Shrunken Head. No. Yeah, no, definitely agree there, though. So they're looking for more opportunity. You do see Parasite. With that said, he does have another 3,100 gold now saved up. So, again, the puzzle box still a very viable option. when it's all said and done. But I don't know, you're talking about initiation too. What about even something like a Portal Key himself at this point?
So who is
Parasite, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I still think he needs to use and abuse this Infest. I mean, it's been buffed, and I think even though it's late, I think Puzzle Box can still be really, really useful, particularly against the heavy mana but dependent heroes like Behemoth. If you can, take his mana before he can even use his ultimate, that could be a massive, massive factor in who comes out ahead in these team fights. But yeah, Portal Kick can still work. But at the same time, I think the Hellborn are just going to eventually have the initiation sort of advantage, actually middle lane.
Yeah, they're tempted to fate once again. Ooh, Behemoth the Portal Key right before the rocket hit. That could have really screwed up everything. Now, he does have a Storm Spirit with that said. So if you're the Legion side, you don't want to bait into that at the same time. You don't want to go all out. He uses the Storm Spirit, all of a sudden everyone counter-initiates. Again, this Hellborn team has a lot of counter-initiation, starting with that Behemoth, in fact. So never feel too secure that you do have a kill. Granted, Parasite has that quick burst capabilities, as we have seen many, many of times. So again, very, very fragile game right here. Both sides know that. So this is what's overall been a very aggressive game and kind of a all-out play. It's now turning into more of a very, very cautious kind of play style here from both of these sides. The very slow push up in the middle lane. But again, the middle racks have already been killed here by the Legion team. So you do got to wonder about that a little bit. If anything, maybe they should be pushing out the bottom lane here. But they are possibly setting up for Conqueror. That's what it looks like they might be interested in doing here. At this time. Now, the vision-wise, not the most vision. In fact, this is a misplaced ward here at the bottom root area, with that said. Is he going to get away? Yeah.
Yeah, it's because he had a red ward in the middle lane and the creeps just started daggering him, so he just about PK'd. I thought that was going to be the pickoff that Hellborn needed to really take Congo or take Rax, for example, but in the end that's not the case. It's so tense at the moment. Like if one team oversteps just a little bit, I think either side will capitalise on it, so it's just so tense at the moment. Either team could take the advantage.
What is that? Supports with that most 1 kill and at least 5 deaths have gone 21 and 68. Wow, that's definitely an out there stat. 1 kill and 5 deaths at least have gone 20. So very poorly is what that comes down to in the end, and that's where Master of Arms is at right now. I think is where the point of that's getting at. So again, Master of Arms seems to be not doing so well overall. I mean, we talked about the stat earlier. Over 30 minutes, he's 0-7 or whatever it was in the end. Oh yeah, Behemoth, I guess too. Yeah, 1-7 and 15. Behemoth, I mean, 15 assists. That's nothing to scoff at by any means. But Behemoth is one of those heroes too. Like he puts himself in deadly situations a lot of the time with his initiation. But as long as he's setting up kills, he's kind of doing his job. So I could see that being a little bit more reasonable. But Conqueror, how about this? So we're talking about the Legion team, and all of a sudden the Hellborn team kind of sneaks in here now. Sneak, not so much. I mean, this is definitely. Now, they don't have vision of the actual Conqueror pit, so the Legion team going to have to kind of guess this a little bit. There we go. The rockets come out, and that's where they're like, yeah, you're definitely doing Conqueror. And that will scare away the Hellborn side. So,
yeah, but actually, I think with this kind of how the sort of game is going and how each team are rather sort of a mirrored matchup, I think actually this is going to be helping Hellborn in a sense because they actually have the Conqueror advantage. Because I mean Legion and Hellborn, I mean neither of them have late game. We've talked about this quite a bit before. So really, Legion farming is kind of a non-factor because at the same time Hellborn are going to be farming. But as Hellborn actually have the Conqueror advantage, there's no way that Legion can really push in with that sort of the Conqueror advantage because whenever you're pushing or sort of assaulting a siege base, you're always going to have a worse positioning. And if these teams are so close, then any little bit of advantage can be the difference between who's winning the team fight and who's not.
Yeah.
So it's going to be so hard for them to actually try and take the advantage. As Hellborn have the sort of passive advantage because they're sort of closer to Conqueror. The only way I think Legion can really start something is to take if they can get a pick off. But at the moment, Hellborn are so tightly knit together, as they should be. It's so hard for something to actually happen because they're going to be playing almost the same sort of game. It could go on for like the next 20 minutes unless a misplay is made, honestly.
Yeah.
Because they're so close and so evenly matched that something like a misplay has to happen for either side to sort of take the bait and make something happen.
Yeah, again, this is only game 1, guys, here in a best out of 3, so no matter what happens, obviously, we'll at least be having a second game and possibly a third, of course. But ultimately, these teams, again, playing for a chance to qualify for the Diamond Division here with advancing on, at least giving them more of a chance. Again, the top 2 teams here in the qualifiers. We're down to 12 teams at this point. in this round that remains. So you either make diamond the top 2, or you go to the gold division, which again, as it has been with the previous Han Tours, every single cycle there's a chance to move up and down depending on how you ultimately play out in the end too. So definitely kind of playing for that pride there, as well as even a good amount of money, as we were referring to earlier, on the line. You do look at more item progression here with that said. In fact, a couple of bigger items. Sheepstick not only on Polywog Priest, but also on Bubbles, just picked up for the Hellborn side. So definitely a crucial item there to be seen as he gets that delivered. 3,700 gold on Rally in the meantime. Gotta kind of wonder what he's ultimately going to be going for here. I mean, Staff of the Master, man. I mean, that is not an item to laugh at. In the end, oh, here we go, though. There's a jump on a Chipper. Chipper taking a lot of burst damage off the bat. He had his mitigation, but it's not enough. Big shockwave going to be coming out from Behemoth in the end, but a lot of Trigger Nets were up at the same time. But Bramble, not so much. He does go down. Ballista taken over by Parasite. He has the Trigger Net up. He's going to go for the TP. Will it happen in time? No, it will not. He goes down. Polywog Priest, the sole survivor, but he's already jetting on out of there. Everybody staying alive on the Hellborn side. They got the range racks. Okay.
Polywog Priest, man. OP.
That's something.
But this is what I was talking about, because when one team goes for a siege, their positioning is so much more compromised because they're going up here. They don't have vision. The sort of ramp and the choke hold, like everything just sort of screams that this team fight is going to be in favor of Hellborn. As a result, it was 4-0 come out from Hellborn. But at the same time, they did get the range racks, and this is the power of Polywog Priest. And I think if they keep doing this, if they just send the Bramble ultimate down and the Polywog Priest, they can keep chipping it down. And unless, and what the hell? Middle end?
Master of Arms having troubles, man. We already talked about that. He's having troubles this game.
But yeah, just going back, like, I think Legion can actually somewhat slowly chip away at the baseline because Staff of Master is picked up on Polywog Priest and Bramble Ultimate as well. I think they can keep doing this, but what they need to do is try and conserve their positioning. Try and just get, Polywog to sort of portal key and use his wards, then Bramble to run in, use his ultimate, and then just back off. I mean, yeah, if they get like 20% on the tower, it's not the biggest of deals, as long as they don't sort of lose the team fight. Because when they lose the team fight, things like this happen. Kongo can happen, but in the end, however, are going to sort of back off because they do not want to sort of engage.
Yeah. It has been a funky game, and again, this is one of those things, definitely will come with time, and I think this is a case of ultimately experience. The most experienced teams out there, not only will they play patient at the right time, but they'll play very smart in terms of their initiations. They know if they happen to be that man down, they're not going to force it. If they are pushing uphill, they don't need to force to push the uphill, and things like that, where we've been seeing this Legion team especially kind of making those crucial mistakes. Now, they are going to be going for Conqueror with that said yet again. The wards are down from Polywog Priest. Bramble wards are ready to go as well. You see the Hellborn team coming in. There's the chainsaw also coming up from Chipper on the side, kind of slowing them down, preventing portal keys. If anything, Shrunken Head's being popped all over the place. Here we go. Conqueror's going to end up falling shortly here. Who's going to get the token alive? He's not dead just yet. Torch in the meantime. Torment is up. Bramble's dropping. It looks like the Legion team will pick it up. Bramble does not. Chipper actually gets it. Bramble's going to fall. He gets the Vival off at the last second. Torture's taking a lot of damage. Down goes Chipper. Torture will fall in the end. Polywog Priest and Demented Shaman, they are going to be chasing after the Master of Arms, and they will pick up the kill, as Rally cannot do much else. A double tap for Happy Fish, actually, playing the Polywog Priest right there. Chipper going to chase Rally, but I don't think they're going to be cutting him off. Rally, by the way, that Shield Breaker picked up, giving him even more physical threat, but he will have to fall back, and that will be that. So another very interesting fight again. That all started with Chipper the chainsaws. It not only slowed them down, but it prevented the portal keys.
Yeah, and that was actually the reason why they won that team fight, I think, because you saw Chipper, he came up onto this sort of hill up here, he started the chainsaw, or the Saw Blade Massacre, or whatever it's called, and then Rally, as well as Torture, they popped their Shrunken Head so early, and as a result, I mean, Legion could just capitalize because they have so much... bottom line.
Yeah, they're going in. Demented Shaman gets out the Storm Cloud, but it doesn't matter. Down falls Chipper, and Demented Shaman will fall shortly after. A double tap for Rally. Once again, that started with the Behemoth initiation, though, catching them off guard at that bottom lane. An item that we didn't really talk about here, though, Restoration Stone on Parasite, by the way. He uses a Rally right here. He uses the Resto Stone. No, but the Shrunken Head goes off. Yep. He was just a little too slow right there. And Parasite will have to kind of kite him around in the meantime.
Run, yeah.
He needs to get the hell out of here. There's the lightning speed. Capel was already used. More than his roar comes out. He pops the Shrunken Head. He wants the kill still, damn it. He's going for the auto attacks. He's going for the kill, and he gets it! And now Bubble's in trouble. Bubble's going to end up falling most likely with a couple more auto attacks. There we go. Don't tell him to TP, damn it.
I won't. Never again. I'll delete my lies and apologise. But yeah,
Wow.
absolutely crazy plays come out from Parasite, though. I mean, and this could capitalise to something even more. Polyball Priest wards are up. They might even be able to take the bottom racks here.
I don't know anymore. This game it's just crazy. I mean, you think one team is just all of a sudden gaining it all, then the other team, then mistakes happen. I mean, this is a mix of solid play, but also just some clumsy play on either side. And it's turning into just ultimately entertainment, which is what matters in the end, that is for sure. But there goes the Melee-Rex bottom, and there we go. But I want to go back to this Resto Stone, though, real quickly. I mean, I think it's a valid option. I don't think this is a troll by any means.
No, I really like it. I mean, although I would definitely have preferred, not the Stronger Head, and therefore I don't think the Restoration Stone isn't good. But with the items he has, I think Restoration Stone probably makes the most sense because although I said, I think Puzzle Box could still be good, I mean, it is getting to the point where it's kind of missed its sort of peak stage in a sense. Whereas if he picks up the Restoration Stone, that's like another, 7 seconds on the Stronger Head? I can't remember how long that's on for. But also another like 800 damage from the Codex, as well as his whole leech and face hug. And if it's all about the burst damage, then Restoration Stone is the perfect pickup. I mean, even pick up maybe spell shards maybe or something extra for actually top lane though.
Yeah, they're going to be initiating right here. Polywog Priest, he has our Frostfield play, so he is mitigating quite a bit as we talked about with the physical presence. Struck and pop by Chipper. They turned it around on a Behemoth right there. He did not get a shockwave off. That is huge. Stands the rest of the storm of Parasite. He's locking out Torture. Will it be enough? Yes, it will. Behemoth fights back, by the way. He's coming in. He has a shockwave. He gets it off, but not the most presence right there. Bubbles jumps in finally. Parasite is falling, but it doesn't matter. He gets the kill in a rally. Parasite stays alive, and the Legion team might have finally broken through the hold that the Hellbourne team has been putting up right here. Bubbles in the meantime. Storm Spirit goes out. There's another buyback. This one by Rally, but Bubbles goes down, and now Rally's like looking at chase. Bubbles, by the way, buys back, just as Rally did, but the Legion team is just too tanky right now. We talked about the shrubbery, but you also got to keep in mind the focus buffer from Chipper has also been playing a big impact once again in this fight, as it has been throughout this game. Parasite, he barely stays alive. The great team support, especially from Dimension Shaman, coming out right there. Behemoth looking to finish him off. There's great team support again, but it's not enough this time to save the day. But the end result is going to be a victory for the Legion team. You look at the shrine. There is the invulnerability. It doesn't matter, though. GG, well played. Finally, an hour-long game will go to the Legion team, which their name is Frog No Hippo. Of course, so congratulations to Frog No Hippo. That's just the first game, though, in a best out of 3. So, I had several people, including ourselves, kind of doubting whether or not. But that's the thing with these kind of rounds, in events like these qualifiers, you never know, man. Sometimes you may go into it thinking, like, trying to choose a match, like, oh, are we choosing the best one? I think we chose a pretty solid one in the end.
Oh, definitely we chose the best one. And, I mean, just for the hero picks themselves, I'd love to see the good old Polybog Priest, Chipper, Diminished Shaman, Bramble, Parasite lineup, the standard one of those. But in the end, that was a great game and fair play. I mean, they played really, really well. I mean, they had a sort of struggling at the start, and we were sort of thinking maybe it might even be a 15-minute concede. But in the end, good determination and dedication. In the end, brought it back to a whole 1-hour game and took the result, I think, quite deservingly as well.
Yes, indeed. Both teams, again, not the prettiest play in the end, but even the top-tier teams definitely every now and then have their clumsy games and clumsy mistakes, and there was no doubt a bit of that, but also just entertainment in the end like I went back to, and that's what matters. So game number 1 goes in favor, once again, of Frog No Hippo over Adrian's family. We'll see if game number 2 is going to be different here as far as a result, but game number 2, with that said, will be coming up. As always, though, we'll take a short break here, guys. Stay tuned. Honcast.com going to be coming back at you. The Hon Tour Season